What's up, my dudes? Samthedingus, chilling at my favorite place on earth, Manship Park. I'm here today to show you one of the coolest ways to get over an obstacle ever known. One of the most effective. When you first see it, it kind of blows your mind. It kind of makes you rethink what's possible. And I hope you will do that and try to learn this move here. What you just saw there, jumping across the table, touching with your hands, passing through, it's called a dive Kong. So it is absolutely necessary that you know how to do a regular Kong. Luckily, that's the last parkour tutorial I made, so check out the playlist, parkour tutorials, and go find that Kong vault tutorial if you haven't. It's the same thing but scaled down, not quite as dramatic. So what makes it a dive Kong is well, it's really up to the individual. It's mostly about the way you do it. And so I also recommend that you are able to do dive rolls very well before you try this, because then you have actual practice sending your full body weight flying head first, and you might be able to save yourself if something bad happens. You know, plus dive roll as well is a good substitute to the Kong vault or the dive Kong vault. If you don't want to touch the obstacle maybe, or you're not sure you can place your hands down for some reason, a dive roll is a great way to conquer that obstacle. But let's say it's concrete, you might not want to do a roll. The dive Kong, if you ask me, is probably one of the coolest parkour moves that there is. Once you learn the dive Kong, it means it opens the door for something amazing to happen, which is you can learn the double Kong. If you've never seen a double Kong before, just look it up right now. I'm not going to do one in this video. I'm saving that on my channel for whenever I make the tutorial. But a double Kong is essentially what it sounds like, a Kong vault that happens twice before you land. The dive Kong is amazing to me just in the way that it feels mostly. It's truly like you're flying. Like, once you practice it and you trust yourself, it's like, send it, you know, head first, fly over this table, and keep control of it, you know. There's nothing more amazing than seeing what your body is truly capable of, and the dive Kong is one way to really work your boundaries, expand them, and learn how to do really awesome shit, so stick with me. So if you were using a picnic table for vaulting, you can still use a picnic table. And if you weren't using a picnic table before, now you might want one, because you're going to need a longer distance to cover to make your dive Kongs truly spectacular. Now when you practice, you don't need that much to start with, but you want to get used to doing long distances with the dive Kong. A lot of the technique for this move is actually just basic Kong vault technique. Jumping split-legged, place your hands down, but lay legs pass through the middle. Really, all it does is exaggerate the jumping across. It scales it up for you. So what I recommend is get the short side of a picnic table and practice doing Kong vaults over that. And then the first step of progression into dive Kongs is to practice jumping from farther away when you do them. So still treat it just like a regular Kong vault, but jump from farther back. It'll force you to extend your body. With your Kong vaults, make sure you get your hips up nice and high so you can get past. Alright, first I'm going to do a regular Kong, and then I'll start jumping from farther back to get a dive motion going. Once you do it a few times, you start to feel the difference between a regular and a dive. It's much more extended when you're reaching for the table. If you ask me, that's the best way to start progressing into the dive Kong. Just jump from farther away on the short side of a table still. Step 2 is to do the dive Kong. Just jump on your obstacle, see how far your hands will go, and land with your feet flat on the table. So this is like about halfway to a whole send. We're nearly there. So do the jump, place your hands. You want to do like the last 3/4 of the obstacle, because you want to make sure you have enough, you don't have too much space for your feet to clear under. When you tuck your legs, you don't want there to be a lot of obstacle to worry about. You just want to pass clean through. So place your hands down far as you can. Don't be afraid to step on the table. Walk through it. Want to do it a few times, just to feel the amount that you're going to have to send in order to clear the obstacle. Just put your hands down, and then put your foot off the table. Once you've done that enough times, you feel you understand how the move feels and how much you have to send it, and just gauge it and go. If you need, put down something soft where the landing is, or make sure you have someone with you in case things go wrong. But only go for this move when you feel it's ready, because you are flying head first, potentially on concrete, as you can see here. Jump big, get your hips inverted. That's the only real tip I have. Make sure when you extend your body, you're not afraid to get your hips up high. Lots of work on the basic Kong vault as a build-up to this will of course help. The more solid your foundation, the easier it'll be for you to try things like this. Here we go. And there you have it, the basic rundown of how to do a dive Kong. Like I said, drilling the Kong itself is the best practice you can have for this. All a dive does is increase that scale at which the Kong vault is effective. Not to mention, it looks awesome. So, definitely learn this. This is one of the ultimate coolest parkour moves ever. And it can come in handy someday, so do get to work and stay training hard.